Hey, how's it going everybody? I hope that you're all having an amazing day. This video I'm going to go over 4 easy, mid-level, low requirement money makers in old school RuneScape. All of these methods have fairly low requirements and one has no requirements at all and can make you upwards of 950k per hour. If this video helps you out at all, then help me out by hitting that like button, but let's go ahead and cut this plug and get right into it. Leagues 3 is just around the corner and I will be streaming it all right here on YouTube, so be sure to come stop by. But recently I have been getting back into the swing of old school RuneScape, and you know what that means. We need some money, especially if I'm going to finally complete the 2 PKing accounts that I have been working on for years now. So where better to start off than with my personal favorite moneymaker, which is Aviances in the Wilderness. This method is super consistent in the sense that no matter how long it has been since I have played, Aviances in the Wilderness remain amazing moneymakers. In fact, every time I come back, this method gets even better. Besides the time when the blowpipe got nerfed, we don't mention that these days. But the first time they got better was with the addition of ecumenical keys, which seriously nearly doubled the possible gold per hour here. And now, this time they have added in blighted potions. I don't know a lot about these, but I probably don't need to explain these potions to you. But what I will say is that these potions cut our cost per hour in half. Prayer potions right now are absolutely through the roof. But let's go ahead and stop the chatter and talk about the method, which is actually very simple. All that you're going to need is 40 prayer and preferably above 70 range. The higher the range level, the better, but even at 70, it shouldn't matter because the combat level of the avians that we are killing is pretty low. You are also going to need 1 piece of armadillo gear, 1 piece of Zamorak, and 1 of Saradomin, I think. I'm not 100% sure. For me, I take 1 of each, including Bandos, so that on the off chance that I happen to get attacked, I can run south to possibly escape, because if they don't have Bandos and Zamorak and Saradomin on, they're gonna get tagged off by the mobs and it's going to help me either kill them or escape. I have seen some bots here though wearing an Armadillo Crozier, it looked like, and a Zamorak Kite Shield, so you might be able to squeeze by with just those 2. I'm not entirely sure. Regardless of what your gear looks like, it doesn't matter much because you will be using Protect from Range the entire time. But as for your inventory, what I bring is 3 Divine Ranging Potions, 13 Blighted Super Restores, a looting bag, and some runes for Alks, with the rest being food. Now, if I weren't making a video and I were just killing these for money, I would probably only have 10 blighted restores and 2 ranging potions because I wouldn't be concerned about time spent per trip. But for this example, I wanted to spend an entire hour at the avians, which is why I have an hour's worth of ranging potions. Noted adamant bars are the main loot here, with some alkables on the side, but you need to be on the lookout for ecumenical keys, because these high alk for over 60,000 GP each, which, depending on your RNG, can double your profits. Also, from my experience, it is the most efficient to target the level 69 and level 71 avians. Occasionally hitting the level 84 or 79 avians if both of the lower level ones are dead, but they do spawn fairly quickly. So now that the hour of ranging potions is used up, I went and snuck 1 last kill and I tagged it before the ranging potion ran out. But it's time for the final price check, starting off with what the loot tracker picked up. So if we picked up every single drop from the hour, we would have gotten 650,000 GP in profit. This is slightly misleading though because of the ecumenical keys that I alked. And our RNG was pretty dang good for this hour because we managed to get 7 keys. On average, I get around 4 to 8 keys, so this was the higher end of the average, and at 60,000 each, we are looking at 420,000 GP extra. As shown right here when we go ahead and take a look at the looting bag, which says we made 1,050,000 GP. And after selling everything off, I had just over 1 million GP. Let's go ahead and look at the total cost for us to do that hour, which was 3 divine ranging potions and 9 blighted super restores and 300 or so broad bolts, totaling 90,000, which makes our net profit 960,000 GP in the hour, on top of the 50,000 range XP. This is basically why avians are my favorite. We have an even crazier method that I'm saving for last, so let's go ahead and burn through these next 2 methods so we can go ahead and talk about that last one. The second and third moneymakers that I want to talk about are fletching and high alching. These are as straightforward as it gets, mainly because there is a maximum amount that you can do per hour. Fletching actually is a great alternate account relaxed method to passively earn some money, where if you manage to fletch 1,400 maple longbows per hour, you will make around 95,000 GP, and if you fletch 1,400 yew longbows per hour, you will make around 124,000 GP. Not a lot, but like I said, super AFK. And when talking about alching, it's a little bit different and is more of like a daily moneymaker, where you can make anywhere from 420,000 GP to 840,000 GP per hour. With alching though, it is important to find the items that will alch at the greatest profit margin. I normally try to range between 350 and 700 GP as a margin, because I've found that this margin is the best for your quote daily money making method that you could get out of alching. You could also go for a little bit lower margins and alch more consistently, but at 350 GP profit per 1,200 alchs per hour, it would be 420,000 in profit. And at the 700 margin, looking at 1,200 alchs per hour, we are looking at 840,000 GP in profit. The last method that I have to talk about has only one requirement, and that is a little bit of starting GP. And even this requirement can be worked around with a quest and 20 thieving, I think. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. If you decide to do this method via thieving. And this method is opening ogre coffins. This can be done by buying ogre coffin keys or by thieving the coffins. The thieving method requires a quest, and I absolutely despise questing, so I'm going to do this the easy way, which is the ogre coffin keys. Let me know down in the comments if you would be interested in seeing me do an hour of the thieving method, because I would possibly consider suffering through the quest. In order to maximize my profit here, I purchased these keys for as low as I possibly could, which took about a day to get all of them. And I got all of them at 860 GP each, which is a really good price. I could have instant bought them and still made money here, I'm pretty sure. I'm going to calculate all of that after we go over the total loot for the hour, but this process is also pretty straightforward. All you need is a ring of dueling and the keys. Head to Castle Wars, go south, open the coffins, rinse and repeat. One tip though is opening the coffins is much faster if you hold down the space bar the entire time, because there are text messages that show up each time you open a coffin, and that can really slow you down. What I'm looking for here though to make that money is the bones and the steel pickaxes, as well as the buttons and the occasional herb. I also sold the black nails, which actually I think made me, I don't know, we'll go over it after the end, but grab the black nails too. I started the hour with 983 keys and I ended it with 90, meaning that in total I did 893 keys in 1 hour at 840 per key, costing me a total of 748,000 GP. Moving into the final price check though, I am looking at 1.5 mil in returns. These bones, they don't sell instantly, but they do sell, and I will be turning all of the GP from them into platinum tokens so that we can keep track of them for the final price check. But I am actually missing some bones in this initial price check. 65 rogue bones to be exact, which I sold for 360,000 GP, and I added them to the platinum tokens. So finally, When everything was sold, I was looking at a total of 1.8 million GP in profit, taking off the 748,000 GP spent, which would leave us at 1.1 million GP in profit, give or take, for that hour. Granted, this was because I picked up the keys at a really good price. So what I want to do is a little bit of some calculations to see just how much I could have paid for those 893 keys and still made a profit. And the long story short is I could have paid 2,000 GP each and still made 14,000 in profit if my RNG was exactly the same. Obviously that wouldn't be worth it at that point, especially because RNG is not ever the same. Definitely something to keep in mind. Let me know down in the comments if you are still here by commenting "made it." Also, let me know what money making method you like to use the most in old school RuneScape. Leagues 3 is right around the corner and I am streaming the entire thing right here on YouTube, so subscribe to not miss out on that. But that is all of the information that I have for this video. I hope you all have an amazing day. I'm out.